Water was relatively easy to figure out. We had already done our research and determined that we were in fact on top of an aquifer, and I had also checked nearby wells to see the approximate depth we would have to drill. We were okay with both of those numbers, so we proceeded with the land purchase. Power is going to be a little more tricky for us. The location we've chosen on the land itself is about 825 feet from the road, so we're going to be responsible for the cost of running the wire that distance. When we purchased the land, the realtor told us that it was about $4 a foot to have the power company run it, or $1 a foot if we do the trenching ourselves. So the plan is to do the trenching ourselves, but we need to double check with the power company and confirm the pricing on that before we commit to anything. Solar and wind are both an option considering our location and the weather, but for the moment we're planning on staying on grid just to get the house completed, to code, at an affordable price. In the future, we do hope to go off grid someday with either solar or wind, whichever is going to fit our budget better at the time. For right now, it seems like the minimum we could possibly get away with is about $15,000, and that would really push our budget just for finishing the house. So the hope is to finish the house, spend a few years saving for some off-grid energy conversion, and then make the conversion when we have some extra money because we won't be paying a mortgage on the house. Speaking of the house, some of you might be curious what we intend to build. We've ordered the plans and soon we'll be ordering the kit for an arched cabin. And once that arrives, we'll start building the house ourselves. Our requirements for our home were pretty simple. We wanted the house to be affordable, something that we could build ourselves to save on the cost of labor, just because that's usually one of the biggest expenses building a house. And we wanted it to be something unique that at least would just be a little bit something different that people would remember when they visited versus just kind of a normal, everyday stick-built house. And for us, that turned out to be arched cabins, affordable, self-built, and unique as far as we're concerned. Now, onto the plan. This is the home site oriented northward, but I'm going to turn it just to optimize screen space so you guys can really see what's going on here. So first we have the house. It'll be a 24 by 32 house, 2 floors. The second floor will be peaked because of the arch of the house. So we will lose some floor space to that and some room, but we're comfortable with that. There will be 2 decks on the house. To start with, we'll have a second floor deck on the front, and then we'll have a first floor either deck or raised patio. We haven't quite decided yet. If anybody knows whether or not you can build basically a retaining wall hill, let us know. I'm not sure you can do all 4 sides with retaining wall is my confusion. So I would love to know if anybody's up on that. But we're basically considering building kind of a retaining wall square and then filling that in with dirt and using that as a patio. Just not sure about making it 4-sided. I have not seen that done, I don't think. Along with the house, we're planning on getting 2 shipping containers. One will be my studio for things like crafting, and I make my own hair care products, and hopefully one day we'll be starting my own hair care company. And then Greg will have a workshop type area with woodworking and mechanics tools, also some kind of storage. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. I want to show you our plan for utilities because that took us some thinking and doing. But our concern was driving over any of the lines. We're building on sand. We're on basically 150 feet of sand. So the concern is that if we're constantly driving over the lines, we could cause a shift that would lead to a break. So our plan was to put the utilities in such a way that we could drive over them as little as humanly possible. With that in mind, we came up with sort of a donut idea. So ideally, we won't have to service the well, and if we do, we can do that from the far side, which means that the propane has to be east of the well so that when the propane is filled, he's not running over the water lines. And then if you come around to the other side, the septic can be drained or serviced from the far side of the property without running over the well or propane lines. So that's the general concept behind our home site and our plan. Next video, I'll cover the floor plan of the house and our decision making there, and then we'll get into some of the nitty-gritty of actually doing things.